Well, the first thing is to be a good student. I mean, today in college, the rules are so different than they were 10 years ago. We want that person to be able to be successful academically. Again, skill matters. And if you're going to try to have a top 10 team, you have to have a true student athlete. I mean, she needs to be a good student, and she needs to come to school with the right kind of skills to allow her to be that. So that's what we're looking for. Softball skills and academic skills.
I think to be successful at the collegiate level, a student athlete needs to have a great work ethic to do their work both in the classroom and on the softball field. And another piece of advice I would give any student athlete in high school is there is a place and a fit for everybody. There are many levels of competition, many different sizes of schools, many different philosophies, and one isn't the right place for everybody. And I think they need to keep an open mind about it and figure out what's the best fit for them. I think two things are most difficult for a high school athlete transitioning to college. One is the time management skills they need in order to succeed at the collegiate level. They are essentially starting their first full-time job with all the classes they need to take, their study requirements, and also making sure that they're on the field doing what they need to do and taking care of their bodies properly. And a second thing that goes along with that is it's the first time in their life they don't have mom and dad there telling them how to eat, when to go to bed, when to get up, and they're making all these decisions for themselves. So they have to be mature, they have to take responsibility for their actions and make sure they're managing their time so that they're keeping their priorities in order, which for us, when they get there, it's school first, softball second, and then the social life comes after that.
Well, the first thing they need to do, as we talked about before, is to make sure that their academics are in good order, to make sure that they're taking the core classes that they need to be acceptable to softball to Division I schools. The other thing is physical fitness. Today, physical fitness is really important, much more so than it used to be. There's a lot of running in the better programs in school. They need to be running, they need to be in shape, they need to what they need to do is research the schools that they want to go to, talk to those coaches and find out, what do I need to be a fit for your program?
I think another aspect to them being prepared for college too is playing at the highest level they can when they're in high school and in travel ball leagues. We find that the ones who have the most success early on the softball field at the collegiate level are ones who've played at a very high level of competition before they get to college. And because of that, they've had to form good work habits, both for their softball skills, to take care of their schoolwork. They're on the road a lot with their travel ball teams, a lot of demands on them, and they seem to have already formed those good habits for managing their time and keeping their priorities in order that transition pretty easily to college.
You know, there's an old saying, you don't win the Kentucky Derby with a plow horse. I mean, the coaches who get the best athletes and then are able to train them and give them a purpose and give them a drive, those are the ones that are going to be successful. If you don't have these kind of athletes to start with, you're going to have a hard time. So as Karen said some time ago, recruiting is the key to winning. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I think another thing that separates the very top programs from the next tier is pitching in our game. There are only so many great pitchers out there, and pitching has such an impact on our game, and that one person can have so much of an effect. But I also think it goes back to the athlete's ability at the highest levels to control their emotions and to play in the present and not be affected by what's happened before or what might happen in the future. And I think that's the real key in separating the great athletes and great players from the good ones.